thank you very much for joining us. We'll get going.
Emotions and feelings have huge influence on people's productivity, their mindset.
How you feel about things is so critically important to how you then either engage or disengage with a healthy habit.
Do you think that we are in danger of becoming less empathetic with the use of technology?
People, conversations, person to person, because people are the best people to talk to people.
I mean, understanding people, understanding self is a huge one.
We don't often spend enough time building our self-awareness and understand how your thoughts and feelings drives your behaviour.
So from a company point of view, being able to understand everybody is almost an impossible job.
Culture will kill strategy for breakfast.
Yeah.
So if the organisation has got toxic policies, practices and culture, we're never going to have the environment where people can truly thrive.
Well-being is fluid, and data is about trends, isn't it? Recognising patterns. How can companies use this data to better support people and create sustainable change? Is it something that should be part of the fabric of an organisation now?
Well, I think the answer is quite straightforward in that yes, absolutely.
Because I'm a great believer, if you don't measure it, you can't manage it.
Glenda, maybe just describe resilience, in the workplace and why it's important.
Resilience doesn't just allow you to bounce back from adversity, it allows you to move forward better than you were before.
That resilience isn't just about the ability to take it on the chin when things get difficult. It's about giving people tools to deal with the world as it is, not as they would like it to be.
What we hear a lot, people need people, and it's how you have that human connection, through new work times and new work practices. And
organisations often talk about people as being their best asset or their most valuable asset, and they treat them like they're forklift trucks. They're just another machine for getting something done. And for some organisations, it's definitely not okay to say that you're not okay.
Culture is generally failing. Who takes responsibility for culture in an organisation?
Well, I know why it's been given to HR. Because all things people tend to end up at HR.
Yeah. Is it their responsibility? Where does culture get driven from?
Right from the very top. And it's really important that in leadership we see role modelling of the right behaviours that are going to drive the right culture. We don't see leaders always looking after their own well-being.
Correct.
If you are trying to fill from an empty cup, what does that signal to your employees?
36% of workers currently do not feel like they have good balance.
The most resilient group are leaders. Many leaders with best intentions think that everyone else is like them.
The reality in modern work is that actually demands on employees have grown dramatically, particularly because we've used automation to take away all of those low skill, low value tasks, and what's left over by definition is unique, complex, often very emotional.
And we do really acknowledge that we're living in a stress pandemic.
Yeah, we need to form an equitable balance where both parties is getting something of value out of that relationship.
Who taught us to now lead in the world that we find ourselves in now? Leaders are going to have to bring more compassion and empathy to the job. Leaders are going to have to be trained to have well-being conversations.
Over 150 million working days in the UK are lost through poor mental health.
This stuff is not going away.
Too many businesses are measuring their performance using KPIs and measures that were developed at the end of the 1800s.
Yeah.
And so we do need things like the KWI, because these are important measures for the world in which we live today, the experience economy, rather than the production industrial economy.
And again, I think with everything that's gone over the last few years, there's been so much survivalist mentality and change mentality of let's just get on with it, let's just do it, things are different.
Feeling appreciated is one of the top 3 things that gives people happiness at work. Oh, we're not going to measure happiness, that's fluffy.
Yeah.
The challenge we have is people say these things from a position of ignorance. When you actually break down key well-being measures, they are anything but fluffy.
We talk about well-being, and many leaders talk about it but they're not coming across as being authentic. Too many organisations are now trying to jump on the bandwagon without doing the work.
Data-driven insights will save you money.
Once the evidence is there and the conversation is greater, people will actually adopt this as not a nice to have, but an essential. So thank you so much today, Peter Dorrington and Glenda Rivoallan, for your excellent conversation as always. Have a great day.